Hello viewers, I am C. Sri Lakshmi, TGT Social Studies from Jangammet, working for Material Research and Development team. Today here to give my presentation. I hope you all love stories. So let's start our today's program with a good story. Long ago there lived a fisherman. He had 2 sons. He was a poor man, but he was very hard-working natured. Early morning he used to go to catch fish, and only after noon he used to come back. He had a wife and 2 sons, and both the sons looked at their father working so hard to run the home. So this fisherman used to sell the caught fish in the evening, and he used to get something for that particular day. Elder son of this fisherman looked at the toil of his father and thought that he should study well, he should work hard and settle in his life soon to take care of his family. But elder son looked at the same things in a different way. He fell into a bad company in search of shortcuts to earn money. One unfortunate day he was caught by the police and was put in jail. But elder son worked very hard and succeeded in fulfilling his dreams. He got a good job and he started taking care of his family. He took care of his father and mother and lived further happily. Hope you like the story. Now from the story there is a question. What was the difference between the elder son and the younger son? The difference was resourcefulness. That means that is our today's topic. Let us go into the details and learn the meaning of resource. So today's topic is resources, India and its resources. What is a resource? Source is a thing from which something originates, but resource is a thing for which there is some value or value and utility. Let me explain it with an example. This is a stone, right? A roadside stone, which is of no use and which is of no value at all. But if the same stone is smooth and given a shape, and when this is used to grind ilachi or to grind garlic in our kitchens, this has got some utility and value. So this is a resource, but this is not. Hope you got the point. So the things or persons maybe who bring out utility, who think of usability and who have value, the things which have value are called resources. Resources can be majorly classified into 3 based on their origin. One is natural, another is human made. That means all what we make, whatever is not natural is human made. And the third, human. That means we ourselves, as we heard it in the story. So all the things which come from nature are natural resources. All the things which are made by the human beings, maybe this marker, this board, or the TV, or the mobile from which you are watching the program, all these things are made by human, right? So these are human made resources, and human beings we ourselves. This is one type of categorization. If the categorization is done on the basis of life, then the categories would be 2. As we have learned in the earlier session that bios means life. So resources can be categorized into biotic and abiotic. Hope you guess the meaning of these terms. Biotic means which has life and abiotic means which does not have life. So under biotic we have plants, animals and human beings. Under abiotic we have air, which is everywhere around us, water, both marine and fresh water, soil in which crops are grown, plants are grown, and minerals that are derived from the land, from rocks by mining process and all. So this is another classification of resources. Biotic means resources which have life, and abiotic which do not have life. So this is another categorization. Let's look at one more important categorization, that is of power resources. Today electricity is needed for everything, right? So all the things which need electricity are used in our day-to-day lives in a magnanimous way. So let us look at the history of power resources and their categorization. You can see from the screen that they are of two types: conventional resources and non-conventional resources. Conventional resources are the resources which have been used for a longer period of time from olden days, in simple terms. So non-conventional resources are the resources which are recently designed and which have been into use in recent times. Let's see what they are. The list. Please look at the list. First is firewood, coal, petroleum, natural gas, and tidal power. Under non-conventional, you can see solar energy, wind energy, nuclear power, geothermal energy, tidal energy, and biogas. Under conventional resources, you can notice a star mark for tidal power. That is because all these conventional resources other than tidal power can also be called as non-renewable resources, which means they take long period for replenishment. That means a firewood, a tree needs so many years to grow. Coal, petroleum, natural gas, these things also take thousands of years to form again. But tidal power is derived from water, which we get with the help of water cycle, which is ever happening phenomena. Hope you understood the point. Coming to non-conventional resources, solar energy, the energy that is derived from the sunlight using solar panels. Wind energy, the energy that is derived from wind with the help of windmills. Nuclear power, the energy that is derived from the process called a nuclear fission. Here there is a point to note. Uranium, which is called a radioactive metal, is used mostly for deriving nuclear power. Then geothermal energy, the energy that is generated and stored inside the earth. As we learnt in our last class, geo means earth. So tidal energy is the energy that is derived from seas and oceans. From the energy of the tides, the turbines are rotated and the electricity is generated. And biogas is the energy that is derived from the fermented organic material, which has been in which anaerobic organisms are put. So these are the non-conventional power resources. So let's go into the next topic, into the main actual topic, resources. In this class, we are going to discuss the resources which are on the slide now. As it is not possible to cover all the things in detail, we would discuss about vegetation, rivers, minerals, soil, flora and fauna, and human resources today. First one being vegetation. The single term that can be given to all the greenery around us is vegetation. Under vegetation, we have three main categories, that is forests, grasslands, and tundra vegetation. Why is there difference in vegetation in different places? Vegetation depends upon the geographical factors and climatic factors. So where there is abundant rainfall, where the soil is good, we can see forests, and where the rainfall is not much enough for forests to grow, we can see grasslands, and where the rainfall is very low, and we can see tundra vegetation. Tundra vegetation is often called treeless vegetation because there are shrubs, mosses and lichens, also called lichens, also pronounced as lichens, are grown in tundra vegetation, are seen in tundra vegetation. Let's go into the details of forests now. Look at the picture of the forest, how green it looks, right? So let's first look at the uses of the forest. As you all know, we get timber from the forest, which is used for making furniture and for many other uses. We also get lot of herbs from forests which are used in making medicines. We also get rubber, paper and gum. These are the things which are used for commercial purposes. And the important use that we get from the forest is purification of air. So this particular point we have discussed in the earlier class too, but it's so important to discuss here, so let's revise it. We release carbon dioxide into the air and we take in oxygen, but plants take in carbon dioxide and leave out oxygen as one of the end products of photosynthesis during daytime. So this is the natural cycle between us and plants. We also get so many food products like fruits, vegetables, honey, nuts, spices and so many other things from forests. Then forests not only help us, they help also animals, different animals like birds, reptiles, insects and so many other things. So forests also help us in getting good rains. Surprised? Yes. The leaves of the trees release water vapor into the atmosphere through their pores called stomata. So this water vapor gets mixed into the water vapor of the atmosphere and rises to form clouds. These clouds come back in the form of rain. So this is the phenomena behind the rainfall, causing of rainfall in the forest. And last but more important point is soil strength. Forests help in strengthening the soil in many ways. The roots of the trees penetrate deep into the soil and provide aeration and drainage among the soil particles. Also, the leaves that fall down from the trees and the fecal material that is released from living organisms that reside under the trees, the soil gets more fertile. And also soil erosion can be prevented with the help of these trees as they hold the soil tight. So these are the main uses of forests. Let's look at different types of forests. So as we were discussing the uses of forests, you might be surprised, are all the forests one and same? Do they look alike? No, there are differences. Let's see what they are. Classification of forests is done broadly into three categories. As you can see from the screen, it is first one is evergreen forests. These forests are green for most of the period, because for all the period for that matter, because when one type of leaves trees shed their leaves, the other type do not, and moreover the trees get new leaves soon. In evergreen forest, there is very good abundant rainfall also. Coming to the next category, that is deciduous forests. You can see the colors of the leaves is different here. The trees in these forests shed their leaves in a particular season simultaneously, and they get leaves when again the season changes, when there is water available for their roots, new leaves occur. And the third category is mangrove forests. These are the forests we can see in coastal areas, on sandy beaches and on marshlands, where the water comes and wets the land every now and then. So here it's important to note that the rainfall, there is a difference in annual rainfall in these regions. Usually evergreen forests grow in the regions where the annual rainfall is more than 200 centimeter. Deciduous forests can be seen in the regions where the annual rainfall is between 70 to 200 centimeter. But mangrove forests, the rainfall varies from region to region. Other than these three broad categories, we also have some other categories to look at. That is thorny forests. These are the forests that grow in dry areas where the summers are very hot. So here the name as it suggests, we have thorns on the plants instead of leaves. So that means the leaves are changed into thorns to avoid the loss of water. And the next category is coniferous forests. As the name suggests, the trees in these forests are usually conical in shape. They look, as you see, you might have seen Xmas tree, right? Like that, they'll be conical in shape, and so the name coniferous forests. These forests are also called taiga, and they are seen usually in higher mountains, and so also called mountainous forests, montane forests. And last category being the Mediterranean forest. This is seen in the areas around Mediterranean Sea where citrus fruits are grown. The special feature of these forests is that the trees in these forests have thick barks, and the leaves are usually wax coated to avoid the loss of water. They develop in the areas where there are wet winters and dry summers. It's a typical type of climate. So we can see in our country all these types of forests except Mediterranean forest. So let's look at the distribution of these forests in our country. So as you can see in the map here, the dark green color stands for evergreen forests, and the light green color for deciduous forests. And in the coastal regions here you can see the mangrove forests. In fluorescent green you can see mountainous coniferous forests. The leftover region here and here you can see thorny forests. So such is the distribution of forests on our country. So let's see what type of trees grows in these forests and what sort of animals live in those forests. Okay, so evergreen forests. In these forests we can see rosewood, ebony and mahogany. The timber is very hard and is of very good quality. And animals in are usually elephant, monkey and lemur. In deciduous forests, the trees in are teak, sal, peepal, neem. The animals in are lion, tiger and deer. In mangrove forest we can see Sundari. Here this name is special because Sundarban deltas of West Bengal got the name by this tree, and mangrove palm, pomegranate are some of the trees seen in mangrove forest. Turtle, crocodile, snake are some of the animals seen in this region. In thorny forest we can see acacia, euphorbia and palm, and animals rat, rabbit and wolf are seen in thorny forests. In coniferous forests, chir, pine, oak and the other are the trees, and moose, reindeer and squirrel are the animals. You'd be interested to know what are the forests in Telangana. So let's have a look at this chart. So in Telangana we have only 3 types of forests: deciduous forests, mangrove forests and thorny forests. Deciduous forests are seen in northeast Komaram Bhim, Mahabubabad, Asifabad, Jaishankar and Bhadradri. So the trees found here are Vegi, Agise, Maddi, Bandaru, Jittagi, teak. And mangrove forests are seen in Adilabad, Warangal, Khammam, Nizamabad, Karimnagar, Mahabubnagar, and the trees seen are Uppuponna, Vodduponna, Urada, Mada, Gundumada, Kadili and Bella. Thorny forests are seen in Nalgonda, Mahabubnagar and Medak regions. The trees found are Babul, Bulusu, Regu, Sitafal, Neem and Modiga. You must be surprised why these first letters are written in bigger size, for which I will be answering in the later part of the class. So let's now move on to the next subtopic. So before that, let's also see where grasslands and tundra vegetation are seen. So grasslands are seen in foothills of Himalayas and Brahmaputra plains. And tundra vegetation is seen in some parts of southern India, and it is called sholas there. It is seen in Palani Hills, Nilgiri Hills and Annamalai Hills in southern regions. So, here you have again a picture to look at. Please look at the picture, see how beautiful the river is. An interesting point to discuss here. There is a link between river and civilization. Let's investigate it. So, for example, let us take Indus Valley civilization. So, as you all might have heard the name of this particular civilization. Where did it flourish? It flourished in and around the areas of river Indus and its tributaries. So, what is the secret? What is the link between this developing a civilization and the river? Water is needed for plants to grow, and we human beings depend on plants for food. Slowly, when people learned how to grow crops, they moved towards the rivers as abundant water is available there for irrigation. So, here the link is. So, it's easy to grow crops where the plenty of water is available, right? So, that's why all the famous civilizations, older civilizations which we see, flourished near the rivers. And it's also interesting to note that in olden days, the word riches stood for land, crops and cattle, not for car, bungalow and bank balance as it is today. So, in those days riches, the word riches stood for land, crops and cattle. Cattle because they supply us with milk and its milk products and meat. So, regarding rivers, there is one more important point to understand. That is, there is holiness attributed, particularly in our country, to the rivers. That means, usually in river banks, we see many temples being constructed. Okay, let's see the uses of rivers now. So, the main use is drinking water. So, we get drinking water from the river sources, and fishing is carried out, as we were talking about fishing in our story at the beginning of the session. So, fishing is carried out in rivers, and tourism. Boating facilities are provided in many river banks. At the banks, the facilities are provided and they are developed into tourist spots. And transport is also carried on rivers, which is called inland waterways. Okay, and the most important use of rivers is irrigation. That means water for growing crops. So, Indian rivers, in India, as I said just now, we attribute lot of holiness to the rivers. Let us see what Indian rivers are. Though there are many in number, we categorize Indian rivers into Himalayan rivers and peninsular rivers. So, Himalayan rivers, most of the Himalayan rivers originate from Himalayas, the glaciers that are present there. Most important of them are Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. There are many tributaries of these rivers which later acquired the status of river again. So, the most important one from Himalayan rivers is the river Ganga. It is the longest river in India, flowing up to 2525 kilometer. It originates from the glacier Gangotri in Himalayas, and throughout the year this river water can be seen in this river. That's why they are called perennial rivers. All the Himalayan rivers are perennial. Perennial means ever flowing. So, these rivers receive water from the glaciers. That's why they are also called snow-fed rivers. This doesn't mean that they don't get water from rains. They are also rain-fed, but mostly they are snow-fed. So, there is something more to speak about the river Ganga. Most of you might have heard that holy dip in this river removes all our sins. So there is interesting science behind it. There are some microorganisms called bacteriophages. These are a sort of virus which kill different bacteria that cause diseases. In every river these bacteriophages are present, but in river Ganga these are present in large numbers. So to bring back the glory of Ganga, Namami Gange program has been initiated by the central government to purify the water in the river Ganga and its tributaries. Now let us see about peninsular rivers. In peninsular rivers, the most important rivers are Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Narmada and Tapi. These are the peninsular rivers. These rivers origin from usually foots of some hills. So the most important river from peninsular rivers is river Godavari. So we can see these two rivers in our state, Godavari and Krishna. So Godavari is the second largest river which flows up to 1465 kilometers. There are a number of tributaries also for this river, and recently the prestigious project of Kaleshwaram is also built on this, and there is one speciality for Narmada and Tapi among the peninsular rivers. These are the two rivers which flow towards west and get mixed into Arabian Sea. The reason is Deccan Plateau is towards east, and so all other rivers flow towards that side, but the course of these two rivers is in such a way that they go and mix into the Arabian Sea. So this is the story of rivers. So to add to the benefits of the rivers, we construct dams on various rivers. So dam is also called a multi-purpose project because the water stored in dam is used for many purposes. Our Chachaji Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru has praised dams as temples of modern India because development is possible only when these dams are constructed in large numbers and all the necessities are met. So dams are usually built for two main reasons. One is to avoid floods and another is to provide water for irrigation. So here preventing floods is very important because river is in fact a boon, but it turns out to be a bane when floods occur. Floods destroy the crops, the homes of poor people, and they also disturb the communication system. So that those things can be avoided by building dams. You can see on the screen the major dams that are present in India. Tehri Dam in Uttarakhand built on Bhagirathi, Bhakranangal Dam built on Sutlej in Himachal Pradesh, Sardar Sarovar Dam in Gujarat built on Narmada, Hirakut on Mahanadi River in Odisha, Nagarjuna Sagar on River Krishna in Telangana, Koyna Dam on Koyna River and in Maharashtra, Rihand Dam on Rihand River in Uttar Pradesh, and Mettur Dam on Kaveri River in Tamil Nadu. So it's also important to protect rivers from pollution. There are many industrial waste, sewage and other things being dumped into the rivers which make them unfit for our use. So it's everybody's responsibility to see that the water resources around us do not get polluted. It also affects the aquatic plants and the animals which drink water from it, right? Our next subtopic is minerals. So minerals, the word you might have heard many times earlier. Can you name few minerals that are around you or from your memory? The vessel in which your mother cooks is stainless steel, an alloy, it's a mineral. In olden days people used things made of copper. And the jewelry that your mother wears, maybe a chain or a ring, these are made of gold. And even anklets that girls wear, they are made of silver. All these things are minerals. So what are minerals? How can we define them? We can define minerals with their two important qualities. Mineral is a naturally occurring inorganic substance and it has definite chemical composition. It is extracted from rocks with the help of mining. Look at the slide. There are many number of minerals present over here. First one being the diamond. Wow, they look lovely, isn't it? Diamonds are available in different colors and shapes. Diamonds are the hardest mineral and they are one of the costliest too. Diamonds are used in making jewelry. They are allotropes of carbon and the shine in the diamond is because of total internal reflection, a property of light, which you can learn in your physics. The second mineral that is shown here is manganese. This mineral is used in making batteries and ceramics and it gets oxidized soon. The third one you can see here is iron. Iron is a metal which has the high malleability. Malleability is a property by the virtue of which the mineral can be beaten into sheets, various sheets, and so iron is used for making different alloys. The fourth one is mica. You can see here. This is used as insulator. This is a very bad conductor of electricity and it is used in electrical goods and electronic items. Next one being gold, which is very much known to you. This mineral has high ductility. Ductility is a property which allows the mineral to be made into thin wires. Gold can be made into very, very thin wires. It is used in making jewelry. Next one is limestone. This is a sedimentary type of rock. About rocks we have discussed in our earlier session, rock cycle. So limestone is a type of sedimentary rock and it is crystalline in nature. It is used in construction purposes. Next one is granite. It is igneous rock, very hard, and it is also used in constructions. So there is one speciality about granite. Minerals can be categorized actually into two, metals and non-metals. But granite is a mineral which has the quality of both. So it is neither categorized into metallic nor into non-metallic. So other two are also special here, coal and petroleum. They are special because as we were discussing the definition of mineral, I told you the two more important characteristics of minerals are they should be naturally occurring inorganic substances and they should have definite chemical composition. These two things have definite chemical composition and they are naturally available, but they are not inorganic. Coal is a plant fossil fuel and petroleum is made from animal organic material. It's also animal fossil fuel, and so these two cannot be called as minerals, though they are mined and used and listed out in minerals. We should call them mineral fuels or mineral substances. So now let us see what are the minerals present in our country. So diamond is seen in Bihar state. These are the states where these minerals are found. Gold is seen in Karnataka and Jharkhand. Iron ore is seen in Karnataka, Kerala, Odisha and Jharkhand. Granite is seen in Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Jharkhand, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Coal is seen in Jharkhand, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra and Assam. Limestone is seen in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Gujarat. Mica is seen in Andhra Pradesh, Jharkhand, Bihar and Rajasthan. Manganese is seen in Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Goa, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Rajasthan and West Bengal. Petroleum is seen in Maharashtra, Assam, Gujarat and Rajasthan. So now it's time for me to explain why I have written these letters bigger in size, the first letters. This list is very exhaustive, right? Nobody would be interested to by heart them as they are. So I have a good technique for you, a useful technique to remember the names. Whenever we have lists like this, we can make mnemonic devices from the first letters of these words, which can help us in learning the things easily. Let me do one or two for you, and the remaining things you can do on your own. Let's take coal for example. So COWTJAM are the first letters of the states present over here. So the mnemonic device what I made is cow, drank tea and ate jam. Isn't it funny? Cow never drinks tea, cow never eats jam, but it's a comic here. When we use such comic things as mnemonic devices, we can never forget these first letters, and when first letter is there, automatically we will get the name of the states. You need to be little careful when the first letters of two states are same. Okay, let's take one more example. Mr. Cat kg, MRCAT kg. So Mr. Cat is weighing only 1 kg here. So MRCAT kg are the words. So in that way you can make different mnemonic devices based on your own creativity to by heart the lists whenever you come across. So as we have discussed that there are extensive coal, abundance of coal is available in Telangana. We have SCCL, Singareni Collieries Company Limited, which is indulged in mining of this coal. So this particular company was at first private British mining company, which was purchased by Nizam of Hyderabad in 1920. Now after independence, it is jointly owned by centre and state government. There are 15 open cast mines and 35 underground mines in this Singareni collieries now. There are around 65,000 people employed, and the production is about 65 million tons per year in SCCL. So this is the case study of the Singareni Collieries Company Limited in Telangana. Our next subtopic is soil. So soil is necessary for growing crops, as you all know. Here I have something to show you all. This is the soil profile. You can see large stones here down, small stones up to this, above these large stones you can see small stones, and above that you can see the soil, and over the soil you can see vegetation. Right? So let us recall it and write on the board the profile of the soil. We have learnt much about rocks and rock cycles and different crops grown, right? So first level is called topsoil, which consists of humus, vegetation, etc. Second layer is, from up we are going now, second layer is called subsoil, which consists of clay, sand, silt and such things. Third layer is weathered rock material, that means broken rock material, as you have seen in that jar. So fourth one is parent rock or bedrock. Parent rock, or we can also call it bedrock. So the texture, the color and all the characteristics of soil depend on the parent rock and the climatic conditions. So it's also important for all of us to conserve soil. Let us see some soil conservation methods mentioned here. They are mulching, means covering the upper layer of the soil with organic material. Intercropping, which means growing two types of crops in alternate rows. Contour barriers means barriers that are built across the borders of the crops, as you can see in agricultural lands going on. Shelter belts are the belts that are seen in coastal regions. So trees are grown in line to check the wind movements which cause soil erosion. Rock dams are the piles of rocks that are put to arrest the flow of the water and the soil. And counter ploughing is a technique. Ploughing in the on a steep slope, we plough in lines to make the flow slower. And terrace farming is also a technique which is used on steep slopes. We construct step-like things and grow some crops there so that the soil cannot be eroded much. So these are some of the soil conservation methods. Our next subtopic is flora and fauna. We have already discussed about flora and fauna in our earlier lesson. That's why we'll just have its gist once again. There are around 50,000 species of flora in our country out of 391,000 species of all around the world. And fauna, we have around 91,000 of species of animals found in our country out of around 2 million species throughout the world. So you might be surprising how these things help us. Of course, plants are helpful. You have learned the uses of trees and plants. But how are animals helpful? We get mesmerized by looking at the beauty of the butterfly that moves around the flowers in a garden, isn't it? Do you think they are helpful to us? Let me explain you with an example. See, let us take a chain: grass, deer and lion. Grass is eaten by the deer. D-E-E-R should be pronounced as deer, okay? So grass is eaten by the deer and deer is eaten away by the lion. So if lion eats away all the deer, what happens? It's not only the loss that occurred to deer alone. Loss is caused to lions also, because one day all the lions have to die out of starvation if the deer are completed. Not just that, the grass that is grown all over the area gets more and more. There is a competition for survival, and ultimately the plants also die. So the natural ecological balance is planned in such a way that if one species is disturbed, the whole chain is disturbed. So we as human beings should do something to facilitate the chains, but not to destroy them. Let's now look at the last subtopic, that is human resources. So when I say human resources, you immediately get the word population in your mind, right? So distribution of the population in a particular area is affected by many factors. First one being geographical factors. That means as we discussed in our earlier lesson, if they are plains, they are highly populated because rivers are there, the soil is very fertile, they can grow very good crops there, they can construct good roads there. So plains are highly populated. And social reasons. We see people moving away from villages to cities in large numbers. Why? Better schooling, better housing facilities and better medical facilities are some of the reasons, isn't it? And the third reason is cultural. Sometimes cultural aspects play a vital role in the distribution of the population. Let's take an example of Medaram, that is located in Telangana. A decade ago, that means 10 years ago, it was all jungle, it was a forest. But now there are a number of settlers there. Why? It has become famous, it has got cultural importance. So in that way, the shrines sometimes get overpopulated, mostly populated. Fourth reason being economical factors. If there are good opportunities of jobs, people move to that places where industries are established, where large number of opportunities are there for employment and all, people move off, isn't it? So these are the four important factors that have their effect on population distribution. And let us also learn something about the pattern of the population change. So does the population change? Yes. The causes behind the change are birth rate, death rate and migration. So birth rate is number of live births per 1,000 people, death rate is number of deaths per 1,000 people, and migration is a point which is needed to be discussed a bit more. So there are two aspects here regarding migration. One is a person leaves a country or a person enters into a country. So migration can be, in other words, migration can be emigration or it can also be immigration. So many times students get confused between these words. So you can remember it like this. E stands for exit, going away. So emigration means leaving a country, and immigration, in, means coming inside a country. I hope this technique will help you in remembering the terms. So are all the people, are all the human beings resources? All the plants are resources, all the animals are resources, but all the human beings are resources? No, conditions apply. So let's go back to the story that is narrated at the introduction. There was a difference between the elder son's mindset and the younger one's mindset, isn't it? So human beings should be made into resources. They are not made as resources. So let me make it clear to you. Okay, there are around 150 crore people. Our population, present population is around 150 crore of our country, out of which nearly half, 60 crore population are young people. That is the reason why the whole world is looking at us. Okay, so if all these people can be turned into resources, it would be really something great. So what is the difference between normal people and the resources? Let us have a clarity now. Healthy, educated and motivated individuals are the resources. So what is the difference between normal people and resources? The people who are resourceful are healthy, educated and motivated. Health is not an option, it's a responsibility. You may recall that in our Fortitude 2020, our beloved secretary Dr. R.S. Praveen Kumar sir asked all of us, he gave one resolution to all of us, he asked all of us to be healthy throughout the year, isn't it? The first resolution, if you try to recollect, was I shall stay healthy physically and mentally. So it is really very important to be healthy to achieve anything in our life. So this is a period of lockdown. So taking this dash as an opportunity, I request you all to take some exercise, make yourselves healthy and fit within this period of time. So it's an opportunity for you to do so. The second important point is educated. So regarding education, we should understand very clearly that education is not mere getting qualification. So as Swami Vivekananda says, education is the manifestation of the perfection already present in the man. What am I good at is known to me. So in that way, people should think what they are good at and they should try to put all their efforts to improve upon it and achieve something in their lives. And not just this, I would also love to quote a doha of Kabir here, an appropriate one for this, so that suits this particular point. Pothi padhi padhi jagamuva pandit bhayana koi, dhai akshar prem ka padhe se pandit hoy. Most of you might have heard this doha. It means, Sant Kabir says that no person who studied books or holy scriptures could become a scholar. Only the person who can study or who can understand the 2.5 lettered word. It is prem in Hindi. It is a 2.5 letter, 2.5. So, ढाई अक्षर प्रेम का पढ़े सो पंडित होय. One who studies love in detail, one who knows how to love oneself, how to love others unconditionally without expecting anything. If we are able to respect all the people, then we can be treated as educated. So, it's really very important to look at the people without any discrimination, to respect the people without any discrimination or bias in our minds. So, the next point is motivated. What do we understand by motivation? By having positive thoughts, good desires and great efforts, we can be motivated all the time. We can read good books to get motivated ourselves, and we can always think of positive things that we can do. So, healthy, educated and motivated individuals are the resources. Have a look at the slide here. In first picture, you can see Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Missile Man of India. Second picture, God of Cricket, Sachin Tendulkar. Jamshed Tata ji, the great industrialist who changed the economic phase of the country. And Abhinav Bindra, gold medalist in shooting. And Google CEO here. And the next picture, Sundar Pichai, Google CEO here. And the next picture is known to you. This picture does not need any introduction for us students. It is Malavat Purna, who scaled all the mountains. And hey, look at this baby. What this baby is thinking? What should I do to become a human resource like these people? So, this baby is thinking how to become a resource. Hope all the children who are watching this program, this particular topic, this particular lesson, think very seriously about this and come out with flying colors in their lives. All this, I hope all the students from Telangana Tribal Welfare Residential Educational Institutions and Telangana Tribe Social Welfare Residential Educational Institutions, all the students for that matter, all the students should try to be healthy, educated and motivated to become resources of our nation. So, it's your time now. Please take the project work. Make a project on resources based on the concepts discussed in the class. I repeat, make a project on resources based on the concepts discussed in the class. Second one is write an article on how to transform oneself into a human resource. How to transform oneself into a human resource. I thank our Telangana Tribal Welfare Residential Education Institutions and Telangana Social Welfare Residential Education Institutions, Telangana State Government, our beloved Secretary Dr. R.S. Praveen Kumar Garu for providing such an opportunity for us teachers to be with the students in this during this tough time of corona crisis. I also thank TSAT people for providing me this opportunity. I thank all the viewers for being with me. Thank you all.